Hello everyone, welcome here to my channel and today to another episode of my Nemesis build. Before I get into what I'm doing today, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed, who has liked, who has commented on my videos recently, and especially you guys also that have commented on my Nemesis build. It's made me really happy to know that you guys are really enjoying it because I really love this coaster and I've really enjoyed doing this build and I put a lot of time and effort into it. So I really appreciate it. And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's get into today's episode. So basically I'm going to be working on, as you've just seen already, this kind of main first drop area of the coaster. There's all this rock work that goes down. They've got the red river flowing down there as well. And I'll just pop a picture on the screen now to show you kind of what I'm trying to recreate, the picture that I'm using, or one of the pictures that I'm using as a reference. So that's kind of the red river coming down. I'm just going to tidy up this whole back area where the extended queue line is, put in all the foliage, the terrain kind of textures, and all the tree work and everything like that. And also I'm going to go ahead and just custom support that kind of first curve off of the pre-drop. As you can see there as well, there are some supports on the lift hill, which I went ahead and did off camera. In my eyes, those supports on the lift hill don't really look that correct. That's the best I can do, really. The supports coming off the sides, they're a funny angle. They should be a bit steeper, but I've kind of made do with what I've got, and they look okay. And also for the catwalk there as well, as you know, at the moment currently there is no diagonal catwalks mod, although I do know that they're being made, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to come out before I release this map or this creation. But yeah, the catwalks are actually made out of roof pieces from Shy Guys 4, so that's how I got around that with this one. So right now I'm just doing those supports up on that first turnaround up by the extended queue line. As you can see as well down there, I do have like a barbed wire fence as well going around the bottom there just to stop any guests from getting into that kind of maybe dangerous area. As you know, in the past people have tried to climb restricted area fences and that has resulted in injuries and things. So that's why they kind of do those fences at parks to try and stop people from going in those areas that shouldn't be there. And as the extended queue line is so close to that bit, there is that little extra barbed wire fence around the ride there. So I've just added that in there as well. Just doing the supports like I said, and adding on those footers, which I'm using just the cube, the normal cube and also the diagonal cube, which is really good for those diagonal supports. So I've just kind of done that as well. And also today I'm going to be doing the Helix part of this ride. Now this is one of my favorite parts of Nemesis. It's really intense, but it's really cool. The coaster actually circles the monorail, so it was actually built, the monorail was actually there before, and the coaster was designed by John Wardley, and they designed it so that the coaster would actually circle the support that holds up the monorail track, which is really awesome. It makes a great interaction moment, and it's so low to the ground as well. And the way it circles around there, I believe it's actually at a 90-degree angle on this Helix. It's really intense, it's really fun. It's also the first thing you see when you're walking into Forbidden Valley towards Nemesis. You kind of come through this little gate area which I built in one of the first episodes of this, and then you see the Helix and it's just awesome. So I'm just actually doing the supports as well there. I'm just going to pop a picture on the screen now as well just to kind of show you what I'm doing. The track actually circles around the monorail and then dips down into the Blood River again. So I'm just going to show you a picture of that as well. Hopefully for some of you guys out there who aren't familiar with Nemesis, who haven't been to Alton Towers but know of Nemesis, hopefully showing you pictures of the real ride and then show you me building it in this game, hopefully give you some idea of how I'm trying to recreate it and how the real thing looks and how I'm trying to resemble what what it actually is. Because sometimes in these games, when building in these theme park simulation games, you try and do recreations, but you're never going to get it like exactly 100% correct. I know you can get very close to it, especially in games like Planet Coaster, where you have a bit more, you're less limited, sorry. With this game, there are a few limits. I mean, it's definitely much more advanced than Roller Coaster Tycoon was, 2 and 3. Yeah, but there are obviously still limits. That's just the game's nature, isn't it? And so I have to try and get around those limits. So unfortunately, some things aren't 100% correct, but I try and get everything as close as possible. And I try and use, I try and find pieces in game, or if it's not there, I use a mod for it to try and get around some of those kind of problems. And I really feel like that Helix turned out really cool. I've done the Red River there going down the bottom as well, using the water curtain pieces as well, and some splash effects like I did in the last episode. If you didn't see that one, go back and check it out. I basically did this Red River waterfall over by the stool turn, and I just kind of did the same technique over here on this Helix. I haven't been to Alton Towers in about 10 or 11 years, so I believe that the red water doesn't work anymore. I know it's been like a discussed thing on forums and things about the red water of Nemesis. I think it just runs clear now like normal water. I don't really know. If anyone's been there recently, let me know down below if the water's red or not. I'm not really sure. But there was a time where it stopped working. There wasn't any water, and then the water wasn't red anymore. But when the ride opened in 1994, this coaster was, you know, it didn't have much foliage around, but it definitely had all those things like the red water and that, and the station looked really, really fresh. And over the years, of course, the coaster got older, the effects stopped working, the red river didn't flow, the station faded, and so recently they did paint the station again, which looks really, really cool. And but the water, I don't know whatever happened with that one. So yeah, like I said, if you do know, let me know down below in the comments, because I'm really interested to know. So right now I'm just adding in some foliage and stuff and just kind of finishing up my little monorail helix. At the end of this video, I am just going to go into the map currently and just kind of show you what I did today in a real-time kind of look around, show you that top of the lift hill and the first drop over the river, and then also this helix underneath the monorail. But it's coming together now. I definitely can see the light at the end of the tunnel with this build. Sometimes when you start, like I said in the first episode, it's really daunting when you start one of these projects. You just have this coaster and all this land, and you have your paths all messy and you just can't see the end, and then slowly it starts coming together and you can start to see the end. And I can really see now that this is taking shape and it's turning out to be something that I'm really proud of, so I'm really happy how it's looking. So here's a little look in real time. Here's the top of the lift hill and that turnaround there, and as you can see, I've got that nice red river flowing down there of blood and the first drop coming over the top. The first drop on Nemesis, you know, it's not big. Don't let the ride fool you though, because it's very intense once it gets going. But that first drop does pick up quite a bit of speed actually, but it's nothing intense or thrilling. Some people come and look at Nemesis and they just think, you know, there's not much to it. It's not high. It doesn't look impressive, but it does pick up some speed and some G-force. And don't let that little turnaround and that drop fool you, because it really does, you know, get going. So there's a little view there of the train going down over the rocks there. Now I'll just switch over here to that helix that I built as the train drops down into that kind of rock bed there as well. That's looking really, really cool with the monorail going over the top. I'm really happy with how that's looking, and I'm just going to continue building now, and I'll show you the process. Next week in another episode, I'm going to continue on with the rest of the coaster. We have to do that crashed bus area with the corkscrew, etc. Really looking forward to doing that, and also the photo booth area of the coaster. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. I do know from my analytics that 44% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you all next time for another episode here on my channel. I'll just leave you with a couple more clips here of the coaster, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!